Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of Cheap Seats. Along with Joe Ryan, I'm Scott Kirby, broadcasting today from the newly remodeled Christian Village in Lincoln. We're at a different spot today over in the library across the street from where we're at.
It's very nice over. It's awfully quiet.
You get your arm, or you're freaking me out with that arm. A little comfier atmosphere, sitting on a couch here. We got Coach Alexander and senior star Max Cook in with us today. Max, you awake over there?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Coach, little something different than we're used to. You have a night off last night, Friday, but that doesn't mean the coaches take a night off. I know you, your whole crew split up, scouting around the whole state of Illinois, and a big game tonight with an early start.
Yeah, you know, Springfield is a team that can give you trouble. They've got Tobiah Church in the middle, who 6'8" long, blocked a lot of our shots down there when we played them.
And what a great name.
Yeah.
Obadiah Church.
Obadiah Church.
That's a great name.
That's awesome. Big time. So, but he's a good athlete. He can give us trouble if we're not prepared to play. And you know, he does a lot of things that changes so many teams' situation in the paint, because he does create situations where he blocks a lot of shots and so forth. So we'll try to get him out on the perimeter and get him to where hopefully our guys can get to the rim without him being inside. So hopefully we only got one game this week. The kids will have a lot of energy tonight, and you know, it'll be a good test for us. They gave us a very good game down there.
Well, they may have a little more, I don't know, enthusiasm or determination tonight, because I think they just lost to Rochester last night.
Yeah, I did see that. So Rochester's a dangerous team. You know, they play you that slow down, and you know, they're going to work the ball. And we have them next Friday night down at their place. And I think it was 2 years ago we went down there, and we played very sluggish and things, and ended up losing that game. So, you know, the next couple games that we have, we got to be focused, and you know, we have to continue to compete against ourselves to make ourselves better.
Springfield started a couple of freshmen.
They play a lot of young kids.
That's
it's a young basketball team. I think they only got 2 seniors on the roster, and I don't think the seniors are, you know, it's not their top, you know, their top players. Their top players are one of the Nelson boys. There's so many of them, but he's only a sophomore. They play a couple freshmen, and our league is really loaded with young players. So, you know, this league's going to continue to thrive, you know, after we get rid of our senior class that we have this year, which is excellent.
Well, we don't let's say it like that. Get rid of them.
Well, I'm talking about the whole conference.
When they move on.
The whole conference,
and
you know, when they move, you know, when they move on and graduate, and you know, it's going to continue to be a very tough conference.
And we saw a little evidence of that last week. Southeast, I think they had 3 freshmen in there at one time, and one of their freshmen, they're probably one of their best freshmen, broke his foot, so he didn't even play.
Yeah.
And then you have a couple others. The one kid hit like 6 3-pointers, and I don't know if he just, I don't know.
Max forgot to cover.
Max?
Whoa. We'll talk to Max in a minute about that.
We got the perfect guest then for Max, but
they go to the corner if they want to get threes. They don't go to the wing.
And that's
why he's picking on his teammates.
Well, let's get to Max, Coach. He's been in the program obviously for 4 years, and you know, we followed him through junior high. Went to Lincoln Junior High, and I've watched him out at the rec. That's how long I've been out there. To give our listeners a little background on Max, what kind of player and what kind of person he is off the court and on the court.
Well, he's a hard worker. He spends a lot of time at it, and you know, to be like we are, you know, very good. We got to have, you know, people like Max, and all our other guys are committed to work to get better. They continue to work on their shot, and you know, and one thing that you know, I've been fortunate is they listen and they understand what it is and how they have to play. But you know, he's been around for 4 years with me, and you know, he's always comes to practice bright-eyed and ready to go, and you know, he might decide one day he doesn't want to, but
his brother,
for the most part,
his brother's opposite, because you should saw him rolling into the wreck this morning. Okay, he just got beat with a hammer.
Well, I'm sure they all did, but you know, he's been very competitive. He's been a cornerstone for us for, you know, 4 years, and it's been very important in the success that we've had. And you know, he's very deceiving. If you ever watch him, he doesn't look quick, or Doesn't look like he's as athletic as the players that are playing against him, but you never see him take the ball from him. He protects the ball. He runs our ship and does an excellent job for us. And that'll be a big hole to replace as somebody that's been solid for us for 3 years handling the ball. And we want him to have the ball in his hands when it's crunch time.
And that's pretty evident. And then something I hear all the time is, this is kind of directed towards you, Max, and you're a team player. People ask me, why doesn't he try to go to the basket more? Why isn't he taking more shots? Well, because, you're kind of controlling that team. What do you see, I guess, during a game, and, how do you try to get your other teammates involved?
Well, I do go to the basket a lot. I try to get into the paint, but I don't always shoot it when I get in there because you got the defense, they're going to come help, and then I'm going to kick out. And we got phenomenal shooters on our team. Edward, Gavin, Joey, those guys all shoot a really high percentage. So I know that if I can get into the paint and kick out to those guys, we're going to have some success.
I think you go to the paint a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, once you establish yourself, they've got to come down in there. It opens up the threes. I think you do a nice job going to it.
And if they don't help, then I got a layup.
Exactly.
It's tough to guard.
We're a hard team to guard, and one of the reasons is because we're so unselfish, and he's definitely an unselfish player to where his stat line could be a whole lot better if he chose to, but he is a type of point guard that I like, as he's more worried about his teammates getting into an offense and things like that. So there's times where I have to tell him to shoot more, and there's some guys on our team that I got to tell them to shoot more. They're so unselfish, and one thing we do is we're fun to watch because we'll make the extra pass, and they got confidence in each other and they trust each other.
Yeah, you see some teams try to pass. As much as you guys pass the ball and do a great job at it, you see some teams try to pass the ball a little bit too much, and they're not ready for it. It's off their knee, it's off their elbow. There's
some teams in our scouting report is, we want them to pass the ball 5 times because then they're out of sync.
There's a lot of truth in that.
There is.
It's why they're fun to watch, really, because they do work the ball so well.
And it's just like Coach said, they're so unselfish as such a team, and it's evident that, we played in the Collinsville tournament and in the Jacksonville tournament and even the Lincoln tournament at the beginning of the year, and then it's the same kids always making that all-tournament team, but you look through their stats, and it's all even. You got Max, you got Ed, and you got Gavin. If you look on the scoreboard in tonight, you don't see somebody with 30 points, and then it's always like double digits. Everybody's just solid, and it's very impressive, and it's been a fun team to watch. And right now we're getting to the heat of things where we're coming down to regional time. We got a lot of basketball coming up. How do you keep your kids focused just to keep plugging away? Because right now you're probably playing your best basketball.
Well, we're trying to, we're staying focused because, number one, we're shooting for the number 1 seed in the regional, and that's very important. And we got to play every game. We need to be sharp every game, so people can't use that against us. Well, they played Springfield to a 2-point game. That's not good when you go to a seeding meeting. Where if I can go in there and say, hey, we've beat our opponents by an average of 25 points the last 7-8 games and playing very well, because some coaches do take in consideration of the time of the season it is, and the IHSA did move the seeding week back 1 week, so we do have a lot more games. We've got 4 more games, and we're going to have 27 of our 30 games in before we have our seeding meeting.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like the NCAA football. You got to get some wins by a large point margin. You got to run it up a little bit, if you will.
Well, and I don't think we run it up. We've played everybody, but I'm not going to tell our kids not to play. I don't care who's on the floor. We're going to play hard, and that's where the kids get really yelled at, is when they don't play hard and play within our system. And I'm not going to tell kids that you can't play hard and so forth. So
Max ever get yelled at?
No, never yell at Max.
Coach,
he gives a little chuckle over here.
Do you have the teams? Can you throw the teams out there that we'll have in the regional right now?
Who's in our regional?
Yes.
We have Normal U-High.
That's not good.
We have the 2 Decatur schools, Eisenhower, MacArthur, and Mount Zion, and us.
Don't know about the MacArthur schools. How are they?
MacArthur's pretty good. They've beaten some very good teams along the way, and they're very talented. They got a good coach that has them prepared at the end of the year. You know, a couple years ago they gave us fits and beat us in a regional championship. So, you know, they know how to play us, and they've got a player that's going to St. Louis University, and that program's on the uprise with Jim Cruz down there at St. Louis, and you know, he's going down there to play at St. Louis. So
I always like to watch SLU play.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. They play very hard. They're a good defensive team, and you know, but you know, we need the number 1 seed, because that means that you would play the play-in game. They'd play Monday night, and then we'd turn around and play them on Tuesday night. So personally, if I'm looking at how the seedings will fare out right now, we're hoping we're 1. U-High would be 2. MacArthur would be 3. And then Mount Zion and Eisenhower would play the play-in game, and that would be our first-round matchup. That's my guess. That's not by the IHSA, but you know, we've been scouting around, and those are the teams that we're looking at.
1, 2, 2, 1. I mean, doesn't matter. You got to beat the best to be the best. So even if you get that 2 seed,
the 2 seed, you have to play the 3 seed the first round, and then you've got two really tough games. So you really want to try, and MacArthur's a dangerous team, and if you're not focused against them, they could step up and bite you. And you know, they beat some good teams throughout this season, and you know that they always play well at the end of the year.
One is the only team that gets the extra days rest. Is that right? Is that what puts you at a good advantage if you're 1? You watch them play the night before, and then you have them.
Then we'd play them on Tuesday, and then Wednesday 2 and 3 would play, and then Friday would be the championship.
Okay. Yeah, so we got to be 1 if you're listening to all that, Max.
Yeah.
They know the importance of it.
The Chatham game is going to be big,
right?
Because Chatham beat U-High. Chatham actually beat U-High, so this next game that we have against Chatham is going to be a big one for us. We got to win.
And that is Tuesday night. And is that a regular start time, 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep, 6 o'clock, 7:30, and you know, it's an unusual game for us, but it really falls in pretty good. It changes the how you prepare for the week. You know, our guys are used to Friday, Saturday. They don't play through the week, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got to go to school. You got to get on a bus. You got to get up the next morning to go to school, and our guys aren't used to that. So it is a good time to throw a Tuesday game in there, because now then we're playing. You know, when the state tournament starts, you're playing Tuesday and Wednesday. So it gives them a little bit of a look at what we're doing and what's coming up.
Well, Max, before we go, I just want to get, not that we're trying to get you pushed through your senior year, because, you know, if we're up to me, it would last forever, because this team was probably one of the most enjoyable teams I've watched throughout, you know, my time here in Lincoln. But what are your future plans? Obviously, you're probably going to go to college somewhere. Do you want to keep your playing career going, or you just have other thoughts?
I'm gonna go play somewhere. I'm still not 100% sure yet. I have a couple Division II offers right now from University of Illinois Springfield and St. Leo, which is a school in Florida.
Ooh.
But
yeah,
I'm talking.
I don't think your parents can get to many of those. You better stay around here.
My mom said she wants me to go far away.
It'd be nice to be in Florida right now.
But no, I'm talking to some other schools. I'm talking to Austin P right now, and they're in like a conference with SIUE and Eastern, and I've been talking with them a little bit. But no, I just want to play basketball right now and focus on winning a title here in Lincoln.
And is it okay to call the University of Illinois, because I think you could help there? If you call there,
I don't think
they got to be looking.
I don't
for
think
people.
they're looking for guys like me.
I don't know. I think you can help.
Yeah, you can score.
And you know, we kind of skipped through this, but evidently you're a pretty good student, right, Max?
Yeah, for the most part, I get decent grades.
No, see, that's another thing we don't talk about too much. We talk about all his athletics, but Max is a very good student. Never had to sit out a week, have you, because you had bad grades?
No.
Well, that means you're doing all right.
Yeah.
You know how many times Kirby sat out?
Never. You don't know that, and you can't prove it.
I can.
That's a false statement. All right, we got to go commercial. Well, guys, thanks for coming in. We got Springfield High tonight. Tough matchup. Be about 6:30 tip-off. Well, maybe. Usually Saturday. We always start these games early on Saturday, but it always seems like fresh soft goes into overtime.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll put that on Coach Greg Alexander's shoulders there.
That's hard on, the varsity guys. They're ready to play, and all of a sudden you got to wait another 4, 5, 6 minutes.
Oh, I know. I hear it.
And it's really hard, but I will say, if you haven't been out to see us play, and I think most people have, is we're very excited team to watch.
Yeah.
But Max is a very exciting player, and it has been a joy for the last 4 years to be involved with him, and hopefully we've helped him develop into a player that wants to be, and his goal is to play at the next level, and there's no doubt it's just a point in time of it has to be the right situation for him, and he's really deceiving, and I keep telling people he's a winner. He's always going to find a way to keep you in the game and so forth. So you're missing something if you haven't seen our kids play, and with Max's leadership, it's been an outstanding season.
And now you say if you haven't seen us play, we won't have, after tonight, 2 more home games?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I think we've got Oswego and
Lanphier, the big
Lanphier,
game at the end of the.
Hopefully that'll be a
if
good
you're
one.
If you're wanting to see a game, I suggest get out tonight because you may not be able to get in the doors that Lanphier game. I'm sure it's going to be packed, but we still have a lot of basketball before then to play. So good luck tonight, guys. Max, keep up the good work. You're a true leader out there, and it shows. And you keep everybody focused, and it's fun to watch. Joe, you got anything to add?
Farmer and Greg were talking about how I heard them talking about how they go to overtime on purpose. They like to
they like to keep things.
I bet they like the limelight.
Yeah, they like the crowd as they're filing in to see them a little bit.
I understand.
I don't know how many they've had a lot of overtime games, but we had a lot of them last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know what.
It's that early start. Nobody wants to get that varsity game started early. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for coming in, and we'll see you out at the Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium tonight. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back as me and Joe are sitting on this couch. Now we'll just.
We might lay down for the second half of the show.
We will not do that. I guarantee it. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 WLCNonline.com. Oh, techno.
Wait a minute. Who put that? You got to warn us if you put something like that on.
That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
You want to get up and
Why don't you stand up and slide?
do some break dancing?
Viewers on the internet.
Good. We'd lose a lot of viewers. Good morning. Welcome back. Cheap Seats, broadcasting live from the Lincoln Christian Village in Lincoln, the only faith-based retirement community, and is the area's leader for independent, assisted, and skilled senior living and health care services, including dementia care. Give them a call at 217-732-2189. Phone Kara if you have any questions. They got a lot of things going on out here. We were here a month ago, and they're opening up a new room for people that are going to be gone for a little bit. They can bring their individual in here and stay and take.
It's very nice out here.
Yeah,
actually,
I signed you up, so
I can't afford it.
I got your name on the waiting list.
It's a very nice place out here.
It is.
And the wing out there, they put on the George Gar, I believe it's called the George Gar Annex or Wing or something over here. That's a real nice place in there, based towards Alzheimer's and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a nice place out here. Lincoln's lucky to have it.
They are, and we're in a little different spot than we're used to. Sitting on a couch.
Kind of like it over here.
It's comfy. Yeah.
I fell asleep at break.
Well, I think you're
Imagine
still
that.
asleep. Yeah, but we're over in the library. Is what they call this little library room. So.
And it's 9:27. I had a listener that asked me this week. He said, you guys never say what time it is. I was like, well, I never think about it, but I just did think about it. It's 9:27, almost 9:28 for you listeners out there. But he must have had something to do.
Or he doesn't own a watch.
Or a cell phone. It's not on the dash of his truck. Yeah. Something.
Well, we got to get something out of the way here. We got to, I guess, throw the Super Bowl out there, which is probably one of the worst Super Bowls I've ever seen in my life.
And we're not taking any phone calls because it'll be from Jake.
Yeah, and we made Jake look good last week.
Holy cow.
Boy, I heard it all day Sunday how
smart he
is and how good we make him look. And
yeah, it's hard to make him look good.
Yeah, that's why we're on radio.
That's right.
So,
but he did call it correctly.
He did.
Yes, was the Super Bowl entertaining to watch? No. But if you're a Seahawk fan, wow, did they dominate a game that I really didn't think they would dominate?
I only know one Seahawk fan.
Yeah, I do.
And I'm sure he moved away a few years ago. The old high school football coach here. So
I heard from him a few times
sure
during the game and the next day, and Yeah, he's probably still hasn't came down.
And he's not. He's a true Seahawk fan. He's not a bandwagon jumper. He's been a Seahawk fan ever since I've known him, and I think all of his life. So, congratulations. But it was, and you're just waiting for that time where, okay, Peyton Manning's he's gonna get him going. He's gonna make a game of this. It just never happened.
And then how about all the little things? You prepare for 2 weeks. You do everything. The other team kicks off. You've got your Hall of Fame quarterback back there, and you snap the ball over his shoulder into the end zone for
right
2
from the get-go.
Yeah. That's a surprising start to a football game.
Yeah. Well, and then the Seahawks come out second half and run a kickoff back and for a touchdown, and that right there.
But that was, that's what sent all the viewers home.
Yeah.
If anything, they should have had the officials throw a flag on that. Let's bring that back so we can keep some people around, because when that went on, that's when everybody lost interest, because now there's no way they're coming back.
Yeah. That's about when I lost interest, and just because you thought that Denver was going to make this big, miraculous comeback, and
that's what it was being set up for. It was being set up for you to just see Manning do what he always does, come from behind, win the football game, and it just didn't happen.
But give credit to that Seattle Seahawks defense. They're just phenomenal, and it seemed like even if Denver did catch a pass, they were getting waylaid, hit hard, and there was always 2 or 3 guys around the ball at all times.
Well, let's throw this out there. Do you think it is, we can talk about all you want, but do you think it is a changing of the guard in the NFL? The Peyton Mannings are done. Because when you talk to those guys after the game, and then they said, we knew. I coach high school football, and you don't see that. You don't have that. Well, if we play against a pocket passer, we know we're not getting to him. It's a big kid from Chatham that's got a bunch of hogs up front, and we can't get pressure on him. But most of the time in a high school game, a quarterback can run, so you always have to look for that. Manning is no threat to run in the NFL. No threat.
No.
You don't want to. You want to pressure him up the middle so that he can't step up in the pocket and put his feet under him. And that's what they did. They shoved everybody back in his face. He had no place to step up, and he's not a threat to run outside.
Yeah, because
now all you got to do is play pass defense.
You don't have to worry about contain, because they don't even run outside hardly. They don't get Moreno outside. Everything's up the middle. They try to win at the offensive line, but you're not going to do that against Seattle.
And then so you bring it back to the other side of the ball. You come with pressure up the middle on Kaepernick and Wilson. These guys, they're going to kill you getting outside.
Yeah, they are.
So do you think it's the pocket passer
I don't
thing of the
think
past?
so. No, because you got Andrew Luck. He's a pocket passer, and he's
But if you put him in the same situation, well, he's a little younger than Manning,
right? And back in the day, Manning, he could get out and move a little bit, but he's also been in the league for how many years?
He's old.
He don't have very many years left, so he's not going to beat you with his feet. And he's not going to beat you in the Super Bowl with his arm either, because that didn't happen. But he still completed a record number of passes.
Oh, he threw the ball.
They were little dumps. There wasn't really anything downfield, but you just got to give that defense. Then on the other side is, what's Seattle and San Francisco going to look like in 2 years when they have to pay their quarterback? Because right now they're paying them minimal. So they're
both absolutely getting more money.
They're going to get a lot of money.
Advertising.
So that takes away from money that they're going to be able to invest in other players. So what's that do to your team? You have to look, I guess, down the road, because they're still under contract for 1 more year. But they're going to get paid.
Is it San Francisco's in 2 years, right? The Super Bowl is there. They got to stay strong for 2 years to try to play a home Super Bowl, which has never been done. So I think next year it's in Arizona. And the Cardinals could very well be there. But don't laugh.
I'm laughing.
Well,
I'm laughing out loud.
This broadcast may be live from there. I'll be
going?
on the side. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Except for money. Except for no money, no tickets, no ride.
That's a pretty good reason, right
Well,
there.
that's just 3 small reasons to get over. But the most amazing thing I want to say before we get off the NFL about Wilson is that guy is 5'11". When you look at all the big guys playing football, the quarterbacks that are 6'5", that guy is 5'11", and you don't see him. But you don't see him throw bad balls down the middle of the field because he can't see. Because obviously there's a mess going on up there in front of you with a bunch of 6'6" guys fighting.
Yeah, and if you go back, you can watch us online, and we talk about keys to the game. We I thought we were pretty accurate. Russell Wilson, they can win without Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Denver cannot win without Peyton Manning. That was evident because Russell Wilson didn't really do anything. Yeah, he completed some, big third downs to, move the chains and keep the clock going. But as far as him making that big play or that big score, it was their defense, it was special teams,
And did you see Sherman, or what's the running back's name? The Beast.
Lynch.
Lynch had 14 carries for 36 yards.
He had a touchdown, but he didn't really.
Kept him
intact.
Yeah, all day long.
It was just their defense. They had good field position throughout the whole first half. I don't think they ever started on their own side of the field.
Now, they compared the defense to the Bears, which I really believe was the same way. The Bears, I never really thought McMahon was that good. Maybe they'll get us some phone calls. I didn't think McMahon was that good a quarterback when he was there.
Wasn't.
Entertaining, yes. Yeah. But to me, the Bears, won the Super Bowl, all those games in the Super Bowl that year because of their defense. They were so good on defense, they were boring. If they got a 14-point lead, it was over. The other team couldn't score.
Yeah.
And they compare that with the Seahawks defense, and then they start talking about, well,
look who the Bears
Tony
put
Eason
and Peyton Manning.
And Peyton Manning, so you're like, well.
Back then, I don't know. It's just hard to compare the two generations of quarterbacks because, it's just different times. Back then, now everybody's bigger, stronger, faster compared to back then. Back then, Refrigerator Perry was a beast and just a freak of nature. Now
he's kind of like pot roast.
He'd be just average on a team this year. A lineman or a defensive lineman.
Still hold that against Ditka letting him score instead of Peyton.
Oh yeah. And
why would he do that?
Well, I don't know.
Ditka.
Why do coaches do it?
If you're out there, Mike, would you give us a call? We'd like to discuss that.
Yeah.
Give him the number.
I don't even know it. we don't have
give
a
him
number.
your cell number.
I don't even know it. But Joe, let's take another commercial break here. We'll come back. We'll talk some basketball, and we got some other local sports to talk about as far as some junior high regionals going on. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, 96.3 WLCNonline.com. Yeah. Had to get that in.
You know what? Why don't we have you play the drums up here sometime?
Good. I'll bring them up.
Why don't you bring a snare and a hi-hat next week?
I got electric drums. I can bring the whole thing.
Well, let's bring it next week. And we're back.
We are back, and we are at Christian Village in Lincoln, located at 1507 7th Street here in Lincoln. For a private consultation and tours of the campus, please phone Kara at 217-732-2189. The Christian Village in Lincoln, a community of compassion. I'm Scott Kirby along with Joe Ryan on a couch in the library.
9:40.
It's at 9:40 a.m. on a Saturday.
20 more minutes
8th,
of us.
20 more minutes.
There's some people looking forward to that, I'm sure.
Sure they are.
Boy, the time flies when
changing
we're on
the
here.
dial now. It does. I'd also like to thank, as always, the Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel on Lincoln's west side for providing our fresh coffee and pastries this morning. Call the Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel at 732-6729 and enjoy all the amenities, including a free hot breakfast.
Like we say, a great place if you've got friends or family coming to town for something and they, no room at your house.
Well, there's plenty of room at your house.
No, there's no room out there. No room at the Village Inn.
If we can even check you in at Ryan's Hotel too.
It's expensive.
Joe Ryan Inn.
It's expensive, and you have some cleaning to do.
It's a continental breakfast. It's all.
When you leave there, you may want to call one of our sponsors, Jim Grimaldi, criminal defense attorney.
That's right. Cheap Seats are sponsored by Jake's Furnishings, Jim Grimaldi, criminal defense attorney, the Christian Village, Goodwill of Lincoln, Eaton Corp., Edward Jones, financial advisor, Bob Neal, St. Clair's Manor, Lincoln College, Fricky Calvert Schrader Funeral Homes, Century Dental Center, Community Action Partnership of Central Illinois, Schneider Chiropractic Center, Characters Pub, Blow No Smoke, Joe Ryan Country Financial Agent, Liberty Village of Clinton, and the Lincoln Hampton Inn Hotel. I'd like to thank those sponsors for contributing. Without them, this top-notch program would not be available.
That's right. Jump in there and support those people. They support us.
And if you want to get on and sponsor, just get a hold of WLCN, and they'll be more than happy to add you to our list.
We'll get you on here and talk about whatever you have going on.
Yeah.
Maybe bad, maybe good. You never know.
Yeah. But speaking of good, we have some local junior high teams in regional action right now. Josh Komnick and the Chester East Panthers are playing tonight. They're playing Normal Calvary. First game of regionals was pushed back because of the weather. So they're going to play, I think, 5 o'clock tonight over in Normal.
In Normal?
Normal. And then right after that, West Lincoln Broadwell will be playing Delavan in that same regional. So if both Lincoln teams can win, they'll be playing each other Tuesday.
In Bloomington.
In Bloomington.
We may have to move that game back here.
Yeah, why travel?
Now, I know Comnick was undefeated there for a long time, and then they lost the kid. I can't think. Isaiah? Was that his name?
Isaiah.
Ballard?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Gosh, what's the kid's name? Now I can't remember.
Isaiah. We'll say Isaiah.
Do you know if he's back or not?
If you're listening, well, you can't call in. We don't have a phone. Never mind. Text me.
That was just a little joke we played on everybody. Tell them to call here.
Yeah, everybody's, what's the phone number? But phones are down right now. But, yeah, so Tuesday night, hopefully both teams can advance. That would be pretty exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, actually, it would be, but especially if we could bring it back here and play. You'd bring a big crowd.
Yeah, you would.
Now they're at 8th grade, right?
Yes.
7th grade's done.
7th grade, I do believe both teams
Everybody's
are done.
gone.
Yeah.
Junior high got beat in 8th grade. Was that last night or the night before?
A couple nights ago, I believe. So
they had a good season, too.
Yeah, they did. And that's the great thing about Lincoln. We got so many junior highs, I guess, and then, they're all pretty successful in basketball, and then they just kind of all filter in the high school. And
now, was that the legendary Don Williams last game?
That I don't know. It possibly could be.
I believe I was told through the grapevine he was retiring.
Yeah.
So there may be no truth to this at all, but we'll talk about it anyway. I mean, he's been there a long time, running around with those kids. And
he does a great job, too.
Works on his golf game all summer. I don't know if it's gotten any better. I think Dave Bender still beats him all the time. But, thanks, Don, out there hanging with those kids all those years. I know you and your wife been a valuable asset to that program.
Absolutely. And, his son was helping him, too, for the past couple years. Both of my kids played for him, and they just absolutely loved him. Great coach.
Yeah, great with kids.
Great with kids. And the junior high will, if that's true, I don't know if you're just making stuff up.
I'm not making it up. Somebody said that, but it's not like I've read that somewhere.
But your sources are pretty unreliable.
I've got some hot sources.
Okay, well, we'll look into that, and maybe we can get Coach Williams on here and talk a little bit about what his experience at the junior high. And I know he's a big Redbird fan. He goes to a lot of those games, so he knows the game, loves the game, and if that is true, if he's moving on, that'd be a big disappointment and a big loss for the junior high.
Junior high will miss him.
Yep. So yeah, good luck to those guys tonight. Tuesday, and then the winner of that will play Wednesday, and then state, just kind of looking ahead, will be next weekend. So got a good opportunity for some Lincoln junior highs to advance on.
And I think we've got, as far as we go back to the high school, I think is this weekend or next weekend the regional start for wrestling? They'll start. I'll tell you what.
Now, we were supposed to have the wrestling coach in last week, but he couldn't make it. I think he just had a baby, so
yes, he did.
Congratulations to him.
Baby boy.
So maybe we can get him in here. Maybe you can work on that for next week.
I always got to do everything. I guess I will.
Yeah, because you're the guest getter. You know everybody.
Is that what I am?
Everybody knows Joe. You're the guest getter. That's your new title.
Never had it put
Joe
that
Ryan,
way,
the guest getter.
Well, let's talk a little bit about NCAA basketball.
Let's do that.
Let's bring it down home and let's talk about how bad Illinois is.
Illinois is bad, and I don't see them getting any better soon. And the funny thing is, they were in the top 25 there and then right when that happened, I don't think they won a game since.
That's always false, though. They Mickey Mouse around with those early games, and then play somebody well or beat somebody, and they put it in the top 25. I didn't think Illinois deserved to be in the top 25 ever.
No, but they were looking good there for a while, and then all of a sudden the wheels fell off. And
well, it's fallen off on a lot of teams. Ohio State's had trouble. Wisconsin's
had trouble.
But, they all get healthy when they play Illinois. Makes them feel better about themselves.
So does Purdue and Penn State.
It's like you and I go into a modeling contest. I always feel better when it's just me and you there.
I feel real good sent by you. Wow.
That hurt, didn't it?
That did hurt a little bit. Got a tear. But, yeah, just basketball in a whole, there's been a lot of upsets. And, there was a good game last week. Duke-Syracuse went in overtime. And it's just up and down. If you'd pull that up, we'd be able to see a little bit more. But
go ahead. You tell me a little bit about that because I'm going to pull it up right now.
Pull it up. I'm going to look in the old school way of looking at things. That's a newspaper. But the Big Ten is just it's just up and down. Northwestern's looking pretty good. I know they're young, got a new coach, first year. And I guess it's all about attitude and desire, because that program, I mean, they've beat some big teams, and that's a Northwestern school that's struggled in years past.
Evidently, Northwestern had a pretty good recruiting class right now for football, as did Illinois. To bring football back in the picture a little bit here, you've got Zach Grant from Rochester. He's headed back. He's coming home and going to Illinois next year. Wes Lunt from Rochester going to go to Illinois. Malik Turner, wide receiver from Griffin's going to go to Illinois. I'll tell you guys, those are 3 good kids, that you get to know, playing them in the conference all the time. Malik's an upstanding young athlete going over there. Zach Lunt, you couldn't ask for a better kid. When those guys get over there, it makes you want to root for them. I think it's going to make Illinois football interesting. It can help them be successful. So pay attention to Illinois football coming up. It's
Really?
going to be exciting.
You sure?
It's going to be way better than Illinois basketball.
Well,
If anybody's watching that, you know what I mean.
what's their baseball team look like?
Illinois baseball?
'Cause
I don't know. We had a local guy went there. Didn't Irwin played baseball at Illinois? We should bring him in here and babble about Illinois baseball.
well, you're the guest getter, so get him in
The
here.
guest getter.
You're the guest getter.
Let's talk a minute. Bring up a big game for today, Illinois, or for
Well, I was just
basketball.
kind of looking through there. There really aren't any. I guess Michigan at Iowa, number 10 at number 17. Iowa's playing good. Michigan was just upset a few days ago by, was it Indiana?
I think
Beat
it was.
Michigan. But, I mean, just how about Wichita State? Let's talk Wichita
Let's talk
State.
Wichita State.
A little closer to them in the Missouri Valley with Illinois State. Boy, they're pretty good. And I was watching, was it last Saturday? They were playing Evansville, which, Jeff Alexander's an assistant coach over there. Evansville was up 15 points on them, first half. And then I guess Wichita State woke up, and, I mean, it'd be just like that. It was tied, and then before you know it, they were up by like 16. But
Well, they had such a great tournament run last year.
it did, and they're undefeated. They're at number 4 right now, and they could move up a spot or 2 after this week. It's just, I don't know.
They did have a last year's run. No one thought they could do anything, and they they get to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And now that draws a lot of interest. It's got to help them recruit. That they're going to bring some more kids in, and they're going to be. They may be a power now for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Especially they're getting ranked up that high. Make some kids want to go there.
I guess on the flip side of that, now they have a target on their back. They're not that Cinderella team anymore. So, everybody's going to take them serious, when they're playing in the Missouri Valley tournament coming here up in the beginning of March.
Now, in St. Louis, right?
In St. Louis. And if you've never been to that, that's a good time. We used to go down all the time when Greg was with Illinois State, and it's fun down there. I mean,
I'd like to go to that sometime.
it's fun. It's good basketball, and, the facilities they play in are, awesome, and it's a good time, good atmosphere.
I'd have to root for Creighton, though, this year if I went over there.
Well, you like McDermott?
Yeah, I do.
He's a beast.
I
He's
like
good. He
McDermott.
just had 32 points the other night or something like that. And plays for his dad. He could have went pro, this past year, but wanted to stick around for his senior year.
Why wouldn't you?
I would.
You
think he lives at home?
Probably.
No way.
What?
Living at
Oh,
home?
I'll bet he does.
A stud basketball player living home? No way.
I'll bet he does. She's probably still doing his laundry. You know what I mean? Throwing all that stuff in, taking care of him.
Yeah.
I'll bet he does.
Yeah. Well, let's Joe. Let's take our last time out. We'll come back and we'll talk some odds and ends. Anything else you want to talk about? We can talk some hockey. You're a hockey fan, aren't you?
We're about to the end of it here, 52. Yeah.
Okay.
9:52. Just in case anybody wants to know.
All right. Well, let's take our last commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. You're in the cheap seats. 96.3 WLCNonline.com. Head nod. Boy, Jim's got all kinds of music on there. He's got oldies. He's got Eminem.
I can't hardly sit
He's
still.
got techno. He must have a Pandora account or something. He just downloads.
I'll bet he's got a strobe light at home. You just turn it on and disco ball
Whatever
thing.
mood he's in. He wants some rap. He's got rap.
He's probably got a white leisure suit.
Yeah. Welcome back to Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM, WLCNonline.com, streaming live 24/7. And as always, tune to Channel 5 on your Comcast, and you can watch all of our broadcasts of this show, of all basketball games, football games, the Secret Santa they had back in December. I think you can still watch it. And then they have some other programs as well, as they have a Wednesday sports talk, or not sports talk, but can't even think of the name of it now. But it's on there with, you know what I'm talking about, Wednesday mornings
No, what's it on?
on the radio. Wow, you don't listen. The Viewpoint.
Oh, Viewpoint. You lost
yeah.
there, man. I thought you meant on television.
No, well, you can watch it on
That's what I was trying to think about.
Online,
You're talking
on
about with Mrs. Busby,
yeah.
Mr. Gossett.
Yes, there you go. Now you're with us.
I'm back with you. Live.
Yeah.
We're back.
We are back. Physically, not mentally.
Didn't know what you had going on there.
Well,
You spun me in circles.
We are all over the place today. We probably lost about a handful of listeners because we're just everywhere. But just kind of, we got about 5 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, I guess about 4 minutes now left. Just to kind of wrap up some things that's going on in the sports world. We were talking off air with Jim that A-Rod dropped his lawsuit. He was trying to fight his 162-game suspension, trying to get in a baseball mood here. They're getting ready to meet, so we'll talk a little baseball. Dropped his lawsuit, so he's going to sit out a whole season.
Well, why wouldn't he? Making a bunch of money. Maybe he'll get fat and can't get back in shape like the rest of us and can't play anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's been cheating.
Yeah, cheating.
Let's kick him out.
Just a little one-year vacation, so he's dropped that. Pitchers and catchers are in the process of meeting. I know a couple of teams met last Thursday getting together, and then the rest of them will go to camp this following week.
Well, I know a question that's on everyone's mind out there, and they're going to turn to you for some answers.
What are the Cubs going to be?
Is this the year of the Cubs? Is this it?
This
we've
is
been
not
waiting
it.
for it. Is this it?
This is not it.
So we're already going to start before the season starts. We're already going to start saying wait till next year.
Probably wait for the next 2 years because they haven't made any moves.
Maybe they've just been practicing real hard.
They're trying to get these young kids developed. So
Yeah. Okay.
they're not signing any big names right now.
No. Why would they? People will still go anyway.
They will. It's as long as it's at Wrigley.
I've said for years the worst thing the Cubs could do is win the World Series. They'd lose all that mystique.
Well,
They have a bunch of fans that feel sorry for them, and they get on ride with them a little bit. It's hard to be a Cardinal fan because they win so often that people think you're on the bandwagon.
all right, we're going off track here again.
Can you hear me? Are we still on?
Are you a Cardinal fan?
Yeah.
Wow,
All around.
I got
Big Red, the Cardinals.
man.
You got a new respect for me, don't you?
No, I have none now. Just lost it all.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The Cubs, they're just not going to get there ever. Ever.
Oh,
It's,
yeah, they'll be there.
It's
They'll be there.
Okay.
All right,
we'll
new
see.
topic.
All right. Talk about your Blackhawks.
Blackhawks. Well, I mean, there's nothing really to talk. They're kind of struggling right now.
I haven't seen anything this year on it. I haven't had time to watch.
I haven't really watched either. But and we didn't even talk about Olympics. They started Thursday night. See, we'll just go over there. Speaking of
let's
hockey.
skip right to the Olympics.
Yeah,
It's cold there too.
It is cold there. So not a whole lot to update you right now because they're just now getting started. I know one of the Americans already won a gold in downhill skiing. Can't think of his name right now.
Well, I wouldn't know it either.
Yeah.
I watched that though. That's cool stuff.
It is.
And the that snowboarding stuff. I don't know how you arrive at that as an Olympic sport, but being that you're having it and I watch it, wow, do those people do some crazy things?
They do.
Are they up there and going 190 miles an hour?
Flipping 500 times.
Amazing.
And landing. I'd to break my neck. But, well, you got to add sports because if you think about it, how many sports are there in an Olympics event?
We got curling coming up.
We do.
I think that's Sunday.
Yeah. That's our sport right there.
Oh,
we could do that.
I fully feel that
I've seen you with the broom.
physically ready to get into that sport.
I'll toss it, you sweep it.
Wait a minute.
I'll be the tosser, you be the sweeper.
We're going back and forth like shuffleboard.
We are. Okay. Well, our time is up. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Next week we will be at Blow No Smoke across from Lincoln College. Nice new facility up there. They've only been in there for maybe about a month, so we'll be up there again. So come out and check us out. Big game tonight. Fresh Soft starts at 5. Varsity will supposed to start around 6:30 if they don't go into overtime. That's kind of been the theme for the past early starts. Fresh Soft goes into overtime, so it pushes that varsity back. But be a good game tonight against Springfield. I'd like to thank Coach Al for coming in. Max Cook, senior leader of the basketball team, came in. Congratulations to him. And we'll have some other seniors come in throughout the year. While they're still going, we got several to get in here. I think we have six or seven seniors.
We need to start running those programs through here. All the kids.
Yeah.
Let's get them going. Won't you do that?
You're the guest getter. So that's your job. All right.
Guest getter.
You're the guest
That's
getter.
funny.
Joe the guest
G
getter.
squared.
Ryan. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back on air next Saturday from Blow No Smoke. This is the Cheap Seats, 96.3, WLCNonline.com.